Yo, what's going on? It's
It's
your
the bad
boy.
boy of the dating game.
It's your boy, Mr. Locario, and April in the building. You know what I'm
Get
saying?
ready with me.
Yeah, we're chilling, man. We just came out the shower. We're like, let's get ready. We're in Miami. It's nice out here, and we wanted to talk to you guys about um,
Pretty
yeah,
people.
being hot. You know what I'm saying? Because we were out last night and we were eating, and in Miami, uh, it's like the culture is like everybody's looking a certain way, looking sexy and shit. You know what I mean? But it was funny because you said you used to live out here.
So I lived out here, and I remember that when I lived here, people always used to talk about Miami is like the home of the pretty people. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
really? Like, I don't think so. I just feel like everybody just looks like that. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that now that I live in New York, and I'm not saying that New York doesn't have pretty people, I'm just saying that to leave and now come back to it.
Uh huh.
There is definitely a culture of pretty people in Miami.
Yeah.
Um, and I really didn't realize it, I guess, until I was out of it. Because when I moved here,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about it. I mean, this was, many years ago.
Right.
But now that I don't live here and come back to it and just watching people walk around and whatever,
Mm.
it's really interesting just to see this culture of pretty people. I
Yeah, I
really
think
think.
yeah, I think it's the vibe around here because what happens is right is that based on where you're at, that'll also influence how you're going to be in some cases. So some people will be influenced to make sure they're looking a certain way because everybody else is looking a certain way. So for example, if you see a lot of women out here that are fit, that's going to put pressure on other women to look fit. You know what I'm saying? That's just basically what it is.
Yeah, I mean, there were, unless they were probably working, there were
Uh huh.
probably not many people that weren't in athletic wear, like
Right.
women. Most of
Mm-hmm.
them like sports bra, leggings.
Right.
Um, so, and if not, then they were like still dressed really nice, heels.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting because I think New York has now adopted this culture of sneakers with everything,
Yeah.
where New York used to be you be walking around the city in heels, and I feel like post COVID
Mm-hmm.
that's not the case. But yeah, I really do. I just think it's interesting because even literally the waitresses
Uh huh.
were like pretty people.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I feel like it's funny because once you're used to it, it kind of it kind of loses its like its
It's luster.
yeah it loses its thing because it's the thing. Some of the women I saw walking around, I was like, if they were walking in, let's say, Brooklyn somewhere, they would look really hot in Brooklyn, right? Now
Mm.
over here, they still look good, but it's like I see like 20 other women who look just as good as you. So then it's kind of like it cancels out or it makes it like kind of a little different.
Well, but what you also said yesterday
Uh,
was if they were real, natural
oh yeah,
beauties,
that's another thing
not
too.
just
That's another thing too.
um, what produced beauties, if you
Right,
will, plastic surgeries, et cetera, et
right.
cetera. Um,
That's another thing. You gotta take points off for that.
yes, points
So if
off
you
for
if
that.
you had any see, my thing is one thing for someone to have plastic surgery if they were in an accident, stuff like that, it is what it is.
Right.
But I'm looking at it if you're using plastic surgery to enhance your looks, which is fine if you want to do that. But then at that point, I got to take some points off because it's not natural. You see what I'm saying? So it's a thing where, yeah, they look good, but it's still not natural. So therefore, this is why you have so many of them. Even though they look good, it's still the same. It's like a similar look. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But that also kind of brings me
Mm-hmm.
to that news story I was telling you about the other day. The guy that paid for his wife or a girl, I don't know if it was wife, to
Mm-hmm.
get IVF because he wanted to have a kid. And then they had a baby, and the baby came out what he deemed ugly. And then he found a picture of her because she had had all
Mm-hmm.
this facial reconstruction plastic surgery,
Right.
not because she was in an accident, just because she did not like the way she looked. And he didn't know beforehand. So he's suing her for the IVF treatments because he didn't know he was going to have an ugly baby.
Oh, so basically, yeah. So basically, the lady didn't look how she how she really looked wasn't how she looked now.
Right.
And then so they had a baby, and then the baby came out basically how she actually looks.
Right.
Yeah, I see that. That's what I'm saying. So,
So just because you get with a 10 and you think you're going to have hot babies doesn't mean you're going to have hot babies, because if that 10 is a manufactured 10,
yeah, she might not be a 10.
you could have an ugly baby.
She might not be. That might not be really her. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the thing. I think it's funny because when you see because I've seen a lot of like fake boobs and BBLs and the fake lips and stuff.
You were? Who were you looking at?
Please, I was looking at everybody. So the thing is this: I saw all the things. Listen, I'm always scanning and I'm always looking. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's there and I got to see this is what it is. But I find it funny because, as good as it looks, then it sort of makes everything look the same. And then when you're used to it, it's like, because I've been to Miami, plenty of times, and I've been, I've seen women who look like this plenty of times. So even though it still looks good, I'm like used to it. So that's another thing too, is that like you were saying, when you were living here, you see it, so you're used to it. But then when you're far removed from it, and then you see it, it's like, oh wow, this is, you know what I mean? So like a person living in freaking Ohio, if they came here for the first time, and they would be like, oh shit, what the hell? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's another thing I think for you guys too when it comes to the game, is that some of y'all are so like caught up with looks with the women because y'all are not used to it. This is like new to you when you see that, or even being able to date a girl or hook up with a girl who has sort of that look. You feel what I'm saying?
Totally.
Yeah, but any other thing else you want to say before we wrap this up?
I think if you want to be with the pretty people and you want to see this Game King along with a bunch of other Game Kings,
I agree.
And me, not in a towel, then you should be in Miami October 26th.
That's a fact.
For the Game King screening.
It's a fact.
We'll be here. We're looking at a beautiful beach right now.
Oh, yeah, it's nice.
We have room in our room if you guys want to crash. Just joking. Just joking.
Y'all can sleep on the floor.
I think we already have one crashing here, right?
Do we?
Yeah.
No, we don't. No,
just joking.
No, we don't. So,
but we've got a screening plus a couple of hours of Q&A, and it's like a live stream, guys.
Yeah.
Like you could literally get coaching from I don't know how many, 5, 6, 7 Game Kings, something like that.
Yeah,
like
so it's
live,
gonna be dope. So make sure you guys come through. It's gonna be hot.
Yeah.
You feel me? All right, so that's pretty much it. We out here. Peace. We gone.